and another one. And we'd keep setting them until all the gear was in the water. Well, and then we would just turn around and we would go pick them up. And we would open that, put the line in here. This is just a set of shifts. They're tapered. It pinches the line. It's got a little piece of steel here that kicks it out at the bottom. And we would just haul it, one fish at a time. We would try to fill this boat up. Sounds pretty primitive, but it's pretty efficient. I remember times when we would have a 24-hour halibut opener, and we'd put 100,000 pounds on. It's a very efficient way to fish. I actually started fishing longline in Alaska in 1982. I came up here to the southeast and came up to fish halibut. And at that point, the only hooks we had available to us were these regular old J hooks. I'm sure everybody's seen them and used them. And we would do just what I said, and then we would go out there and we'd run that gear over and over again for 4, 5, sometimes 6 days, get a load of fish on, come into town, unload it, get new ice, bait, and fuel, and head right back out until the quota was full. And that was a pretty good gig. Well, about 1985 or so, a guy came up from Seattle, and he had cases of these. Anybody know what that is? There's a circle hook, yes. Well, we looked at that and thought, that's not even a hook. Anyway, it was a hard sell. And he finally got frustrated, and he just ended up giving a case to everybody in the fleet. He went back to Seattle. So now we had all these free hooks. So we put them on the gear. And like I said, with the halibut gear, this full, we have about 75 hooks on each tub. So we would set J hooks, circle hook, J hook, circle hook, and all the way down the string, just to see how they fit. First time we pulled it, we pulled our first tub, which had J hooks, 75 hooks, and we had 15 fish. And they were nice. They were 30, 40 pound halibut. And we knew we could do business there. We knew it was going to be pretty good fishing. Our next tub had circle hooks on it, and it had 55 fish. And the smallest ones were like 50 pounds. I mean, we had fish in there that we'd never seen. I mean, we had fish close to 200 pounds. We had a lot of fish over 100. And it changed everything. And what we figured out, you put a quarter pound of bait on this hook and set it down there, 200 pound fish bites it, I can take this hook and with 2 fingers I can straighten it out. It's just the way it's made. It's just not engineered very well. Well, you pull on it and that hook's going to straighten out and you're never going to see that fish. But you take this hook, I can go like this all day long, any direction I want through this glove, and it will never catch. He swallows this down, slides all the way back up, turns his head, every one of those fish was hooked right in the mouth. And, I mean, like I said, it changed everything. Well, we were catching a lot of fish. We went, our fleet went from 200 boats in 1983 to over 2,000 in 1987. And he got up to 2,500 by 1990. But the quota didn't grow with it. So in order to get your share, you had to change the way you fish. You had to fish 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, never stop. And then you could get your slice of the pie. Well, that put somebody on the fishing grounds all the time. There was always bait going down, fish coming up. Well, the next thing you know, we attracted some predators. Started out with killer whales, the orcas. They would come by and just start taking bites out of our fish. And they would ruin the fish, but they didn't eat a lot, and we were catching a lot. So you could fish around the orcas. It was frustrating, but you could still do it. Well, another 4 or 5 years down the road, their cousins, the sperm whales, showed up. And when they showed up, it was game over. I mean, we're talking Moby Dick. These guys, we would pull up to a set of buoys like that over there. There might be 4 or 5 whales just sitting there, waiting for you to grab a hold of those buoys. And if you did, and you thought you had 7,000 or 8,000 pounds on it, you'd be really lucky to get 200 pounds. You would only catch fish when one was going down and one was coming up. Other than that, they would just basically floss their teeth with your gear. They would eat every single fish. So the guys fishing black cod, most of them, have changed. And they fish traps more like what we use for crabs now. But the guys fishing halibut, they're governed by a different body. It's the International Pacific Halibut Commission. And for the last 140 some years, they've said you can't sell a halibut unless it's caught hook and line. So those guys are still doing this to catch halibut. And they've tried everything. They're down to synthetic little short 8-10 tub sets, pulling them as fast as they can and running 15 miles to the next one and trying to outrun the whale. It's become a challenge. And that's kind of why halibut is getting as expensive as it is. But anyway, we set one of these last night. And we are going to go haul it back. And then we're going to set this one. And what I'd like from you guys, if you just keep your seats until we get this one in the water. That way nobody's standing up in front of anybody, and when we're done, we'll share whatever we catch if we do. So, are you guys ready to go fishing? All right, let's do it. One more question. You guys do know the difference between fishing and catching, right? Just a little disclaimer. Yes, the guy who owns this boat, he'll tell you the difference is 30 miles of ground line with a hook every 6 feet you're going to catch. So, we'll see what happens here. What a beautiful day. Was that agreement? Yeah. Okay. All right, first thing Andy's got to do, we got to get these buoys on here, and then he's going to hand coil that buoy line. But when he gets to the hooks, he's just going to let them drop in that tub. That's the same thing we do if we had 600 feet on there. The only difference is, when he got half full, he'd reach over there and stomp on it so the other half would fit. Then they'd hand it to somebody like me and say, straighten it out. It was a lot of fun. You're right on it, Cap. Straight down. Normally, I would have a set of controls right here and I'd be driving the boat because I can see where the line is. And he can't. So he's kind of got to listen to me at least once throughout the day. These headsets make it pretty easy. We used to have to use hand signals, but it didn't take them long to figure out that I only knew one hand signal.
Wasn't thumbs up either, was it?
It was not thumbs up, no. Alright, getting a little tight. I think you go just a little bit starboard. And then just ease the head on it. I think it's going to come up. It's a little tight. There, I think it just came up. Alright, I think you're right there.
How far down is it?
How deep is the water?
What's that? How deep?
Yeah.
I don't know. How deep are we, Cap?
We are 195 feet.
175 feet. Got the gear coming. Our fancy weight system. We call it a rock in a bag. And I am a little disappointed. I don't see a lot of, I might have forgot to bait this one. I don't see a lot of bait coming back.
You're a busy man, D.
Yeah, I got a lot going on. Okay, let's get behind us. You might want to just almost circle starboard, Cap, if you can. Yeah, those guys had a tough night. That might help. Okay, get some coming here. can get them off. I'm gonna have. Yeah, you'll notice there's not very much bait left on this. We have a creature down there known as the sand flea, and it's not really a flea. It's a little crustacean, but it starts out about the size of the head of a pin. And if it has something to eat, in a matter of 3 or 4 hours, it can grow to the size of your pinky fingernail.
Well, that's the end of the line.
Yeah, kind of slow, but that's what happens. I mean, if you set your deer in the wrong place or the wrong time, and the thing is you don't know where that is, then they'll eat the bait before it even hits the ground. So now we're going to set this one back in the water. This is the most dangerous part of this. What I need to do is I need to establish which is the bottom, which is this, and which is the top. I'm going to hook the top of the tub onto this anchor, and then I'm going to hook the bottom of this tub onto this buoy line. And if everything goes well, that anchor will go over, followed by every one of these hooks in order, followed by the buoy line. That's what we're looking for. And with one tub, it should happen that way. But if we were fishing this commercially, that pole would be there and I'd have a table behind me. And I'd have 3 tubs up here. And the top of this tub would be tied to the bottom of this tub, the top of that tub to the bottom of that tub. And he'd be driving away as fast as this boat would go. And I'd be spinning this tub, letting the hooks out. And when it's empty, I'd grab the one behind me and somebody back there would put another one up and tie it on. And I would have to hope that they were tying it on right. Because if they tie it on upside down, then these hooks go out first as opposed to them. And that's usually a really bad thing.
I got a quick question.
Ask it.
So now, a minute, right to left, setting, right?
Now, wait a
You're
second.
being left-handed, would you?
I said here. They came in to the
Tubbs
left
stays down
side.
and
They came in from the left side of the center. That's always that way, 'cause that's the way we coil everything. But anyway, if you guys are like YouTubers and you're looking to go, like you might be, you're looking to go viral, this is probably your best shot. If something's gonna go wrong today, it's probably gonna go wrong right here. We got knives. Andy's got a big knife right in there. I got 2 knives up here, and I've seen them come out before. Well, anyway, we're ready when you are, Cap. I was just visiting.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's what I do. You shouldn't have gave me a mic if you didn't want me talking.
All right, guys, let her go.
Okay. Okay, this is only going to take 10 or 12 seconds to empty this tub. One, 2, 3. That should come back nice. Went out quite nicely.
it's over, Cap. Yeah, nobody got hooked.
Just like that.
You look disappointed.
You want to talk about this guy, Andy?
Oh yeah, he's great around. Pacific Skate. There's really no commercial market value today. There was at one point. They would cut imitation scallops out of the wings of the thing. And I actually watched a lot of different fishing stuff. And I noticed that down in Florida, they actually target these guys to play them. So the meat's really good. But these guys, you get upwards. I've seen them over 60 pounds. Caught him in the Puget Sound. He's a bottom feeder. He's got a wicked set of teeth. They're not long and sharp. There's a bunch of rows of them. And he can crush stuff. I mean, the minute he gets two of those pieces hooked into something, it's game on. He's gonna win that fight. They fly right across the bottom, just like a stingray, but it is a specific skate. And he's not harmed in any way, so we're gonna be able to let him go.
And if everybody has enough pictures of him, I'm gonna do that very soon.
Yeah. Because there's no sense in just keeping one. If you have a pair of skates, then you can have fun.
You guys aren't going anywhere.